All right.
Jeffrey wants to improve.
Let's chill, okay? How you doing, everyone? We're back with another reaction video. I found the time to react to a video today, and today's video is Lena's Law. By the way, the way I choose these videos is just videos that show up in my For You page, right? So if you have a video that you want to recommend me to watch, I'm gonna watch it. So please let me know what videos you want me to watch, and yeah, we'll go for it. Let's go. My history with this guy Hamza, bro, I've watched a bunch of his videos. In the beginning, I felt like his videos were a bit less unhinged, more informational, but then somehow, some way, he somehow shifted into this weird ego content, whatever. So I don't know, this popped up on my For You page. Let's just watch it. Let's go.
Jeffrey wants to improve his looks, but he's not willing to be disciplined in his diet or training. And so young Jeffrey becomes blackpilled and says only your genetics matter. Come on, Jeff.
I mean, come on. Bro, I know like so much about the black pill just from my For You page. Like, it's so crazy because like I watch that content, like, and I find it to be entertaining, but I don't see how anyone actually is convinced by them. Like, I genuinely don't get it. I don't get it.
Genetics? You have tits. You're growing like a woman. You even have an angry woman's voice, like Greg Doucette. Dark! Yeah, we'll buy your supplements. Relax, man. It's too late. Jeffrey is officially...
Damn. Y'all heard about Greg Doucette, bro? Damn, bro, the multiverse is like colliding. Everyone, I feel like the fitness industry is like the multiverses are colliding. Every sub niche that has built around it, everyone is just going at each other. There's the looks maxing with the clavicular. There's the old there's the old like generation, like the boomers with Greg Doucette. There's the new gen, and there's this weird niche with the attractiveness too. There's the red pill. I don't know, man.
Blackpilled, and now he leaves hate comments on Hamza's videos. Adonis.
I mean, come on, bro. I feel like you're projecting. So every person who's commenting on your comments the fact that you take TRT, which by the way you did confirm that, you said that yourself, that means they're apparently age free. Come on, bro.
Adonis
We're shifting the narrative here. That's not cool.
didn't focus on looks like a femboy looks maxer. He focused on health, fitness, and discipline, and he lives the most based life ever in his tribe. He suns his balls, he hunts, he feasts, he fucks. Because of his healthy lifestyle, Adonis ends up looking beautiful, like a Greek god carved in marble. Just look at him. I would pay 12.
Okay. You can't convince me that 99% of the human population goes on these physical self-improvement for themselves. They don't, like, statistically, they don't start out doing that. They might end up at a place where they keep doing that for themselves. Yes, I agree with that. But statistically, most people start for other people because they feel insecure, because they don't want to be treated a certain way, because of the way that society treats them, and obviously because of relationships. That's facts. I'm keeping a buck. That's facts. Yes, that's facts. So this like archetype of like the Adonis, I don't know.
$12.99 to see him naked. Usually when I start these videos, I tell you a story of a time that I made a mistake about the
Bro, you got the Minecraft in the background.
Video topic from like years ago. And it's pretty safe for me to do that because I am basically telling you when I've done something wrong many years ago when I was younger. And today I'm not going to play it safe. I'm going to tell you more of an embarrassing story of what I was doing just a few months ago. Because I like to believe that I'm like so disciplined now, but you know, at those periods where a few months ago. Because I like to believe that I'm like so disciplined now.
What the hell?
But you know, at those periods where you fall into a rut, they get me too. And so just about 6
I'm in a rut right now.
months ago, I ended up getting into this really bad habit of just eating dirty food like every single day. Pizzas and cookies and whatever. And half of it was a cope saying that I was bulking, but the other half was an acknowledgement of like, yeah, I'm just not being disciplined. And it caught up to me very, very quick. I was very lean and lightweight for my kickboxing fight earlier this year. And then when I was doing this like dirty bulk, I just got fat out of nowhere. Like, I just looked like obese, like fat. Like, I had a big fucking double chin and I looked like...
He didn't look fat. This is not fat. And he knows it too. That's the... Oh my god, that's the thing. And like, I can't... You don't know what being fat is like. Because I experienced it. And I still experience it. Because I don't look like the perfect... You know what I'm saying? I gained a bit of weight. I've been in a rut. I haven't got, like, I'm on my way to getting my first ever six pack. I'm the closest I've ever been. So don't, you know what I'm saying? But you have never experienced being fat. So don't come here and tell us about being obese. Because you're claiming something that you're not.
Unhealthy and bloated and puffy. When I look back to those videos, I can't even believe I let myself go that much and that quickly. And this is what usually happens when it comes to eating bad food and slacking in the discipline habits. Before you know it, it's really caught up to you and you look and you feel like shit. And so every day I was just like cheating on my diet. I was just eating all these bad foods and I didn't realize it at the time. But I think the reason why I was eating so poorly was because I was using it as a crutch to not feel the high levels of anxiety that I often have. And we'll talk more about that in a second. And this was just a...
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's something that a lot of people do. Like, they fall onto habits because it numbs the pain of other things. That's why you hear people get addicted to like marijuana or like drugs or stuff, because it's the same thing. Like, the addiction, like food addiction is literally an addiction, right? And it's the same type of addiction, just as it's not as intense, quote unquote, but like it's the same behavior as when someone has an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction. You know what I mean? It's the same idea. And it's because it's not because of what it does to you, it's because of what it removes from your life, which is the anxiety, which is the fact that you have to face your life because you create a shitty life from these habits, but then these habits take that away, they take that feeling away, they distract you. But then when you stop doing that, you come back to the shitty life, you're like, fuck. So it's even harder to come back to the momentum, because if you've been hitting momentum like this and then you get into a rut suddenly, now you're faced with coming back to a life where you are behind, right? Like that's what I mean. So it is true 100%, and he does kind of look bigger here.
A few months ago, I just lost my discipline. But then about 3 months ago is when I declared like season 2 of my own self-improvement journey. I realized that the self-improvement habits that I preached to you were so important that anytime I slacken them in my own life, my life just goes completely downhill, including eating clean, staying lean, and all the other habits that I talk about, like meditation and journaling. And so I got onto what I called like season 2 again, just a few months ago. And when you compare literally, like, you know, this isn't Photoshop or anything, but when you compare this video of what I look like right now to just those videos 6 months ago, there's such a big difference. Like, I'm so much leaner, I look healthier, you can even see that I look,
Yeah, I think you can definitely tell,
like happier and more joyful and light. And I really put in the work to look better and to feel better. So in this video, I want to walk you through how you can look better, feel better, and live better. And a lot of it comes from just one simple thing: eat clean and get lean. When you get lean, which basically means to lose body fat, you look more attractive. If you want to look max, one of the best
facts. I'm cute about facts, yes. This is something that we don't like to admit, right? We say, oh, you know, you don't have to lose weight, oh, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. But here's the thing, didn't Hamza just contradict himself? Because in the intro, he was talking about how you should be ditching all those looks maxing stuff and not focus on improving your looks, and instead focusing on building good habits regardless on their effect on your appearance. That is literally what he said on his intro. You can't tell me otherwise. That's literally what he was saying. And now he's talking about how you can get more attractive and feel better. I mean, he said look and feel better, so I guess, I mean, eat better and feel better. This is what I'm saying. if you eat better, if you start to lose weight, 100%, 8,000%, you're gonna look better. That you can't convince me otherwise, right? People try and get around it. I think about it as cope, but at the same time, you have to take into account people's experiences, people's livelihoods. Not everyone can lose weight. So yeah.
Things you can do is get lean, because one, your physique looks better, your muscles look more defined, but probably most importantly, your face ends up looking better and your cheekbones get more defined and your jawline gets more defined. And we can all admit that your appearance.
Facts. And look, if you look at my face right now, it's actually kind of puffy right now. I've lost, for the record, I've lost 60 pounds. I've gained about like 7 pounds back, because I have been in a rut right now. I'm gonna keep it a buck. People do get into ruts, but I have lost over 60 pounds. And then, damn, it really puts it into perspective. That's crazy. I've never shown pictures of myself in the past, but I am going to share them eventually. I looked way different. So losing weight does 100% help. And it really, like, from the 60-pound heavier version of myself to now, then I felt invisible. I had social anxiety. I never had social anxiety in my life. I was the most confident person in the room every time. But then when I gained that weight, I didn't talk to nobody. I felt like shit. I just couldn't, it felt like my soul was in a body that did not fit, and it was miserable, and I was depressed. For 6 months. Yes, if you look into my old shorts, you'll understand. I talked about it a bit more. I was depressed. I was eating everything in sight. I was doom scrolling for hours and hours a day. And then I took matters in my own hands and I lost weight, and I'm so glad I did that, because I feel like a human being amongst people now. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm an outsider. What did I do?
In the modern day, now more than ever, look, it was always important. We have always judged each other on what we look like. But in the modern day, when a lot of dating is online, when a lot of your work is online, people will judge the way that you look. And if you look undisciplined, if you look like puffy and bloated, and you look like you eat unhealthy food, even if you're like not actually fat, but you still eat unhealthy food, people can see it in you. They can see the lack of discipline that you've had in your own diet. So it's such an interesting question to answer for us to like.
Yeah, they can see it in you, but then the question is, do you care, right? Like, for example, we're talking about dating. Okay, yeah, you look better, etc. If we're talking about online content, people are gonna see you, and that's the question. And because there's plenty of very successful content creators that are not attractive. Some of them you can't even argue with, right? But they're still successful because of their craft, because of their discipline, because of their consistency, because of what they offer, because of their value, right? And if you come to me and talk to me about how people are gonna actually comment on how you look like, why do you care? Why do you care? That's my genuine question. Because right now I have come to the point where I have been doing this self-improvement for myself, to prove to myself that I can accomplish something. And content creation is part of it too, right? So like the fact that I'm being consistent and disciplined. If you focus, I'm uploading a short every single day. I don't ever skip a day. And these long videos, whenever I get the time, but I plan to be more consistent on those too. Why? Because we're building a foundation, right? I'm focused on the long term, the long vision. Why am I yapping about this? The reason I'm yapping about this is because if you let people dictate your mood, dictate how you act in the world, and dictate the path that you want to go in, just because of what some Joe Schmo said, oh my God, you are literally a dumbass. You are a dumbass. Don't do that, please. There's one advice I have to tell you.
Set a goal. What body fat percentage do women find most attractive? There's some studies where they gave
That's a Greg Doucette question. Didn't he say like 10 to 15?
Gave a bunch of women questionnaires and they asked them, okay, which sort of man's physique is the most attractive? And it goes from being like bodybuilder, shredded, you are diced up, all the way to like being obese, 30% body fat.
Okay.
And women in these studies often pick the man who's about 12% body fat and 15% body fat. So 12 to 15% body fat is leaner than like the average population of fatties. But if you're the type of person who watches videos like this, you're probably in that range or close to being in that range already. But here's the caveat, and I'll tell you this from my own personal experience, and any other guy who's lived a lot of life, who's like dated and stuff, will probably agree with this. You can't really trust what women say in the studies, because what happens in the real world is very different from what women will like write down that they're attracted to. In the real world, being leaner than that often does get you more attraction from women. So being closer to 10% body fat, and that's when your face starts to look like a model. That's when you have a full-on like picturesque six-pack, the type of six-pack that girls read like erotic books about, you know, like, oh, this guy, his hard dense muscles and his
I don't like what. Also, look at my face. That's not the. I don't really get into this type of stuff. Like, it's not that I'm asexual, but like, this reads as a bit gay to me. I don't know why it reads as a bit zesty. I don't know the zestiness where it comes from, but like, I don't know. The way he's describing these men, like, And it's like, why are you doing it for other people? That's what's cooking me, right? Because like at the end of the day, like I think to like when I do, because yes, I am saying when and not if, by the will of God, obviously, but you always have to act as if those things are in your path. Anyways, when I do get a six-pack, inshallah, I'm thinking to my situation in the future, and the things that I'm excited about, the things that I'm really looking forward to have nothing to do with women. Again, I am not asexual, but at some point you realize how goofy that becomes. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know if I'm like autistic, like a different type. Like, I don't care about human connection as much. I care about success, and I care about myself, and I care about how I influence people. I care about the people around me. I don't care about, okay, I want to impress him and I want to impress her. I don't care about what people think about me. Zero. So maybe, I don't know.
his manhood swelled in her hand, and then the werewolf came. You might every now and then see this debate online of women saying that they prefer like the dad bod, like the guy who's kind of fatter and more relaxed, and the guy who, you know, they
Was that Seth Rogen?
feel like they can eat a pizza with. And that's not true at all. Women can settle with the guy who's fatter and lazier, especially if they're looking for like a comfortable long-term relationship. But when we're talking about primal sexual attraction, being more like fitness model lean will boost how many women want to fuck you. So 10% body fat is a real
Facts, and this is what it always gets down to, right? Because you get these red pill, black pill even, all they care about is short term. They never care about the long term. They never care about it. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of the core of what they expect men to care about, which is just, yeah, I just want to get fucked as much as possible. I just want to have sex. I want to have sex. I want to have sex. Maybe that's not what people want. Maybe people want love. Maybe people want desire. But then people be watching those videos, those black pill videos, those red pill videos, especially the shorts, the reels, the TikToks, and then they comment about how, oh, I have never experienced love in my life. The only thing I want is the touch of a human being and hugging another human being. Bro, this message is reaching the people who want to fuck, but also who desperately have never been in these situations before, and they desperately need something to cling to, and the only thing that they find online is people like Hamza, and they're like, oh, you need to care about fucking, and then they develop this cynicism for the opposite gender because of their own experience, which is valid experience, but they draw their own conclusions because of people like him that they're supplying them with information like this, and then they turn into hateful motherfuckers after they look smacks or without look smaxing. There's two options. Either they start fucking or they don't start fucking. If they don't start fucking, then that means that they're cynical in their rooms, typing in comments, being losers. If they do look smacks and they do eventually get to the point where women find them attractive, which is I don't even get to the point where women find them attractive, maybe just get a better personality. Okay, I'm gonna digress. Then they become cynical motherfuckers, and then they become toxic as fuck, and then we fuel the cycle of hateful ass women that treat men like shit, and then men are gonna be incels because of those women. It's a cycle. Oh my god, I just call me, who's a great philosopher? Call me Plato. I'm him.
really good goal to get to. And how do you get there? The correct answer is by eating clean. And what is eating clean? Because, you know, there's so many different diets on the internet. This person says that this food is bad, but then this guy says that food is good. What is eating clean in a way that we can all universally accept? This is how I would define it. It's
Eating a calorie deficit, gang.
Eating single ingredient foods that your great grandparents would recognize. Basically, you stay away
Sure, bro, but you can overeat on that.
from like the dirty modern food of today, the weird hyper processed, like it's got weird fucking chemicals, it's not even real food. Fucking what the fuck is a Jolly Rancher, a Pop Tart? What is it made from? It's just got weird fucking ingredients. It's not made from like real food, it's made in a lab. Real food, clean food, is stuff that our ancestors ate, like rice, fruit.
Bro, you do know that like the fruit is. Does he know? Like food is being put into plants and they're being shoved with the. Nothing is safe now, and that's the thing. And also, bro, you can lose weight off of any type of food. You can lose weight off of Twinkies, bro. It's not gonna be healthy for you, but it's. And you are gonna feel like shit. I'm keeping it a buck, but you are gonna lose weight. You're gonna look better. You're gonna be lean, and that is the point. Obviously, don't do that. I'm not telling you to do that. That's not my advice. I'm just saying that with eating the raw ingredient foods, you can still get fat. Eating those foods, yes, you can eat those foods and still be fat. People like to just ignore that fact all of a sudden. Yeah, eat those foods. And by the way, demonizing certain foods, like the reason why, like, bro, I lost 60 pounds, so you best believe I tried every diet on the planet before something sticked, right? And what stuck, it was a fucking calorie deficit. Oh my god, yes, I know. But before getting into that, like, any type of diet that demonizes certain foods and restricts that always is like pulling an elastic band. And whenever it releases the biggest binge in the world of those toxic foods that you never want to eat, every single one ends up in your stomach, and then you're back to square one. Actually, you're back in the negatives. Demonizing food is the biggest blunder you can make when it comes to diets. Every food is open, every food is available in your diet if you can know how to portion it and if you can know how to balance it, right? Not every food. Like, for example, I don't drink alcohol at all. But you know what I mean. I'm a Muslim. I don't eat pork. But I'm saying, like, for you, the restrictions might be different. Don't restrict certain foods just because of what they are, please, bro. Because you're gonna suffer. You can't have a slice of cake. Yes, you can have a slice of cake and still lose weight. I've had my cousin. We were talking about weight loss and stuff. And they were talking about how you can't eat certain types of foods. Like, you can't eat fats because they make you fat. No, that's not how it is. It's calories in, calories out. Oh my god, I wish I could make a whole video about this. But we gotta keep correcting.
Vegetables and meats. So let me give you an example of eating clean so you can really visualize what you would eat to get lean. Imagine your first meal of the day is white rice and steak. Nice and simple, no bullshit. Maybe if you want to add some vegetables in there, fine.
That's so bad. It's just gonna sit in your stomach.
The second meal is white rice and maybe salmon, because salmon is good for your brain, healthy, sweet, that's nice. And the third meal is maybe sourdough toast with eggs. These are all foods that if we could show like your great grandparents, they would recognize and they would define it as food.
Okay. Where am I gonna find the money to get all that, Big Chief? You do know that we're in an economic crisis right now. If you can give me the money to eat that food, oh yes, for sure. But
imagine showing your great grandparents like a fucking Fanta fruit twist, pink lemonade bottle, and Doritos chili heat wave crisp or some shit. It's like they wouldn't recognize that as food. They would just think that's like fucking weird stuff.
I mean, your great grandparents probably were smoking the shit out of cigarettes before it was known that these shits were unhealthy. Should I also smoke cigarettes? Like, what's your point? What's your point? Like, I get what he's trying to say, but also at the same time, it doesn't really work. Because did fat people exist back when my great parents exist? Yes. What does that mean? That fucking means that it's not about the fucking food itself, it's about the amount and the portion. Like, if you think logically through these things, like, they sound nice, but at the same time, like, they're not practical, right? Eat foods that only are in a certain list, and don't eat any other foods. Okay, I'm gonna binge. No mention of calories, calorie deficit. Okay, so I can overeat. I can eat as much as I want. What about oil? Oil is natural. What if I just on every single meal, on my steak, on my salmon, on my rice?
But the problem is people are so confused at what eating clean is, and also the fitness industry. Like, if you ever watch like fitness videos, they really make this worse because a lot of fitness people, they don't care about actually eating clean and being healthy. They only care about what's called macronutrients, which is basically carbs, proteins, and fats. And everything has carbs, proteins.
Facts. I mean, they are low-key right, but then you're showing videos of them eating crumble cookies. One crumble cookie is the amount of calories for a whole day, so obviously that's not, like, they're not following their own principles.
And fat, so, you know, the Doritos, chili heat wave fucking chips, yeah, they've just got carbs and fat and stuff, but it's still got weird chemicals that's just gonna make you look worse. Like, I promise you, this is from like 12 years of experience in dieting and fitness.
Look, is it unhealthy for you? Yes. Is it gonna make you feel like shit? Yes. Is it gonna make you look worse? No, if you portion it right. Like, I don't like. And this is the reason why I want to lose weight. Like, partially why I want to lose weight is because when I say shit like this, he is obviously jacked as fuck. You can obviously see it, right? But he's jacked as fuck. So when he says shit like this, everyone listens to him because they know. Like, they see him as like, okay, yeah, he obviously knows what he's talking about. Not everyone knows what they're talking about, please. This is why I want to get in shape, and then I can talk about whatever I want. Because when I was 60 pounds heavier, best believe I can come in with all the correct information, and I'll still get fucking clowned. Why? Because you don't look the part. If you don't look the part, you can't give advice. That is such an important topic. That's why you look smacks, because you want to be someone who people follow orders from, understand and believe. And that's why, so let me stop yapping, because, you know, this is proof. This is proof here for the future when I do eventually lose weight and get better looking. Just wait, inshallah, obviously.
Listen to what I'm about to say. It is not about the calories and the macronutrients. Don't even think about carbs, protein, calories. It's not about...
You're just lying. You're just speaking from your ass now. Like, you are literally spreading misinformation.
that. It's just, are you eating weird modern day food? Because if you are, you will look worse than if you were eating real clean foods that your great grandparents would recognize. Even if we ate the same amount.
See, this is what I'm saying. Again, you can be Hamza right now and you can be jacked as fuck, and then you can be talking about some bullshit, and then you could be me over here who doesn't look at his best potential yet, and I can come here and talk about what I know is true. But then, who do you think people are going to believe? They're going to believe Hamza. So
of calories, the same macronutrients. If one guy's eating Jolly Ranchers and Doritos chili heat wave crisps and weird vegan sausages, and he's hitting the same macronutrients as the guy who's just eating white rice and steak and eggs, this guy's just gonna physically look and feel better. His skin...
No! He's gonna feel better for sure, 100%. Yes. He's not gonna look... Oh. Okay.
will feel like it's glowing. Like whenever you have a season of eating bad food, you'll notice you'll wake up the next morning and you'll have like way more acne and spots. And it takes months.
It's because of the amount you're eating from it. When you eat a season of eating bad food, you're not eating, because bro, if you're hitting the macros, it's the same macros, quote unquote. Like for example, 1,200 calories of a healthy, satiating meal is gonna be way more food than 1,200 calories of McDonald's. So when you eat as much food that satisfies you off the McDonald's, you're gonna overeat. Guess what? You're gonna overeat, and you're gonna have a lot of oil in your system. That's why you're breaking out. But if I have a McDonald's meal just within my macros, and it's well portioned, then you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna have the same effect.
It's like I've been eating clean for months, and it takes like such a long time for your skin to heal from all that garbage that you've been eating. But the big question is why?
Oh my god.
Nu bij Gamma 30% korting op vloeren en 30% korting op raamdecoratie.
The big question is, why do you not eat clean? Because the thing is, you probably knew relatively what it was like to eat clean and to get lean. But there's a big reason why most people do not eat clean. And a lot of like pussies will say it's because of socio-economic reasons, because it's harder to get healthy food. Bullshit. Other people will say,
Okay. So what is it?
they know because I like the taste of the unhealthy food. Bullshit. No. Whenever you are doing a bad habit,
I mean, I feel like someone says that, they're being pretty honest. Like, yeah, I just like how it tastes. I don't like how healthy food tastes.
99 times out of 100, it's not because of any real world reason like, oh, it's actually cheaper to get that kind of food or it's easier and quicker. No. Most bad habits that we do, mark my words, most bad habits that we just use to cover up emotions that we don't want to feel.
Okay. I'm listening.
Don't cheat on your diet when you really want like the bad food. You cheat on your diet when there's like an emotion, a feeling, texture of life that you don't want to feel. It's the same with porn and scrolling. All of the bad habits that we do, we literally use them to just mask a poor emotional state. And for me personally, anxiety seems to be one of the biggest ones. I've been like anxious and worried for things that could happen. Even since I was a child, I've had this. Right now I'm trying to make more progress in it. But I realize the times that I actually cheat on my diet are when I'm just feeling anxious. And instead of being sat there to feel it because it doesn't feel good, that's when I start to think, okay, well, let me go on my phone, order food, I'll watch some TV, you can do this, you can do that. You do all these things to just cover up your emotions. And there's no other area of life that you use to cover up like the way you don't want to feel as much as your diet. If you're someone who has an unclean diet, then really take this seriously.
That is correct, 100%. He's right. And as he said also, you do the same thing with porn, you do the same thing with if you're addicted to alcohol, if you're addicted to drugs, if you're addicted to anything, it's the same exact thing. Because you use it to run away from your emotions. And it's a cycle, right? So you get addicted to something like food, for example. You feel like shit. Because you feel like shit, you eat even more food, and because you eat even more food, you feel even more like shit, and then you eat more food, and then it's a cycle, and then
chances are there's like this emotion you don't want to feel, maybe anxiety, depression, boredom, and that's when you end up cheating on your diets. We focus on quitting porn, we focus on improving our diets, and these things, okay, they're nice to make progress in, but they are not the real problem. They're just symptoms of the real problem. The real problem is your mental health, your trauma that you've unhealed. It is insidious inside of you, and it is the cause of almost all of your bad habits. You know how like most fat people, they've been on this diet, and then this one, and this one, and this one for 20 years straight, and sometimes they lose weight, but then they gain it back, because it's not the diet. If you just deal with the eating, you won't make any real change. You need to really look inward and see which pain is inside of you that you have not processed. You have to sit there and...
He is low-key right. He's low-key spitting. I'm gonna keep him back.
and feel it to the point that you are moved to tears and anger, and just feel it. Feel the emotion that you refuse to feel. Feel the emotion that was too scary or too chaotic to feel when you were younger, when you were punished to show a certain kind of emotion. Feel what you need to feel and figure out what kind of emotion is it that you feel most of the time when you're not busy, when you're not grinding work, and you're also not doing any bad habits. If you just sat there for like an hour and stared at your wall, what emotion would you feel? And you probably already know what emotion would come up. This is the kind of knowledge I wish I got when I was like 18 to 22 years.
He's 100% right. I'm gonna keep it going. And yeah, people tend to like hear stuff like this and assume it's like some wishy-washy, some bullshit. Just cast it away, not really think about it. But if you really sit down and if you really like just like deep what he's saying, you'll realize that no, he's actually saying something of substance here. Also at the same time, yeah, man, no, he's 100% right.
Old. I spent years trying to improve my diet, quit the bad habits like porn and video games and scrolling, and most of the time you just end up relapsing and doing those things again. They're symptoms of the real problem, and the real problem is always this kind of like inner pain that we have from something that we've not processed years ago. And when you heal that pain, when you take the time to just feel it and sort of release the emotions and feel the anger of what you wanted to say to that person when they hurt you, or whatever is stuck inside of you, when you just feel it, you'll notice you have less to run away from, and you'll cheat on your diet less. You'll have less desire, craving, lust for all the bad things. And isn't that the better strategy? Rather than being reactive and trying to fight the lust and fight the cravings to cheat on a diet, you just get less cravings overall when you just feel what emotional problem is pushing you to those bad habits in the first place. So I really hope that this helps you, because this kind of knowledge change.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But there are also some physical reasons. Like sometimes people just have like naturally higher hunger signals, etc. Maybe you want to get them checked out. I don't want to say Ozempic, but like, you know what I'm saying.
Changed my life forever, and I've become such a happier person because I learned how to heal these painful emotions. Because a lot of people don't talk about this, but I just happened to get lucky when I was younger, and I stumbled upon like the right videos and stuff. And I hope the same thing now can be said about you. I can make like basic videos if you want me to. I can just teach you how to track your macros like everyone else would do. But I really want to give you like the real knowledge that's gonna make a difference. And a lot of it comes down to like the deeper things inside of us. So
okay, what do I think about this video? I think that the real message of the video was this part here. It was this here. These 3 minutes. But then he had to fluff it up, so he added some bullshit here, eating clean, etc. Because he created like a hook here of like, basically he said, I'm gonna get back to that at the end of the video. He did get back at the end of the video, and it was a good and profound point, but he had to fluff it up, right? It is what it is. That's how YouTube works. But he does kind of seem happier. I don't know if he is. I don't know how. The Hamza, sometimes he bamboozles me, man. Like when he smiles like this, sometimes like I wonder, like, is there something behind that smile? I'm not talking about something sinister. I'm talking about, is there like something like a sadness that's still deep rooted in there? I don't know. Okay, anyways, I'm yapping. Let me know what to react to next. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Should I keep doing this? What type of videos do you want from me, right? Because like I'm still getting used to the camera. I'm still getting used to how to speak. Sometimes I catch myself just watching YouTube videos even before I even made this channel, right? And I would talk out loud about the video as if I was interacting with the camera. Now it feels a bit less natural because it is an actual camera, and I feel a need to kind of talk about the stuff that's going on. It's like a more of a pressure, but you know, we're gonna get used to it. At the end of the day, we are going to be the biggest reaction channel of our time. We're gonna get there, but again, just small steps, build foundations. And yep, okay, I'm gonna stop yapping. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please follow for more. Comment what you want to see from me next. Thank you.